I think the situation is very significant, and it's becoming much more perilous with each one of these tests. What we're seeing from the North Koreans is an effort to solidify their regime in the face of what they see as threats from the outside world. And one of the problems that this really presents is that the North Koreans over time have a lot more ability to provoke the U.S. and its allies and others in the region into providing them with the sorts of things that they're looking for over time, and that is stability for their regime, whether that's from funding or from other things that they're trying to get the U.S. and its allies to stop doing, such as military exercises to bolster our defense.
This latest missile, some people say it could reach as far as New York. We've also heard Denver, Chicago, Los Angeles, all in reach. Where do you think we really stand in terms of what they would be able to do at this point?
I still think it's too early to tell. I think a lot of the data is coming back right now, and the analysis is being conducted on what actually happened with the tests, and there's still some dispute about the actual capability of these missile systems. But the bottom line is the program, as was highlighted by General Milley, the Chief of Staff of the Army, over the past week, is beyond what we had expected it to be at this point. And some of the intelligence community's estimates on when this capability will be online have actually been revised forward. So it looks like possibly within the next year and a half there could be a working intercontinental ballistic missile. The degree to which that missile is going to have an effect, again, as you know, depends on the range. But even if it is able to range targets in Alaska and Hawaii, that presents significant challenges for the U.S. Just in terms of protecting our population, but also from a military standpoint, being able to protect our most important military assets. So regardless of the range, I think this is a really significant problem, and the North Koreans have shown a determination and an ability to move forward with this program on many levels.
Patrick, we're going to get to you in just a moment, but Mark, before we do, just about every military expert that we have spoken with in recent months has said that there really is no alternative because South Korea is our ally. They are within striking distance, and anything that we did would have a massive detrimental impact on South Korea. What do you think?
Yes, I would agree with those sentiments. Even before this capability comes online, the North Koreans have a significant number of tools at their disposal that can bring significant destruction to the South Korean people. And so many of the discussions about decapitation, about surgical strikes, carry significant risks, not only the risk of retaliation by the North Koreans, but also the question of what happens if those strikes are in fact successful. You leave North Korea with a situation that may be much more chaotic than what currently exists, and with the potential for loose nuclear weapons, loose WMDs in North Korea, that presents a whole host of new security challenges that are going to be very difficult for the United States to deal with.
Patrick, let's talk about what that does leave us with, and that's the option of trying to get China to put some additional pressure on North Korea. Obviously, they're their lifeline. They're the ones who are doing most of the trading with that country, and President Trump laid it out very cleanly in his tweet. Our trade with China is at risk if they don't do anything. Where does that stand?
Well, the overall U.S.-China relationship matters more to both Beijing and Washington than it does in dealing with North Korea's nuclear problem. So that's the reality. We have nuclear deterrence with North Korea, so even though it is on the cusp of crossing this threshold to actually being able to reach the continental United States with an intercontinental ballistic missile, deterrence will hold, and the United States therefore has to at least cajole and pressure Beijing to try to clamp down on banks and other entities that are doing trading in business with North Korea. China's resisted a lot of this pressure, and they're not happy with the Congress passing a sanctions bill right now, pressuring the White House and the United States to sanction Chinese entities doing trade with North Korea. So China, in the short term, is going to react negatively to new U.S. sanctions. That's my prediction, and I think this is going to lead to a downward spiral in the short term in U.S.-China trade and relations, but will maybe come out in the coming months with a new deal with China, both on trade and on maybe an agreed diplomatic approach to North Korea. But at the moment, things are going to get worse before they get better.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.